All right. First off, I hope that this video finds you well. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna walk through a quick haircuts and beard cleanup. What we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the cheek line, the side of the neck, and then also the back neckline. And it's gonna be a bit different than what we usually do in regard to a razor and a single handheld mirror. We have some new toys to play with, or rather tools, and believe it or not, this is actually cleaned up compared to what it was a little while ago, believe it or not. The other thing, I don't know about you, but as far as just with a quick little cleanup, I find that it has a very positive influence in at least my overall mental state. Does that make sense? Like, I feel better about myself. Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Nonetheless, let's stop my rambling and let's get into things. The tools are a set of clippers right here, and these are from the self-cut system, which we'll be walking over to right now. Okay, here's the setup. Again, this is a self-cut system, and what is so neat about this is that there are 3 mirrors, and the significance of this is essentially you have 360 degrees of view of your head. So I can see myself right here, I can see the sides right here, and then you adjust these mirrors to where you can see directly behind your head, the side of your neck, so whatever you're trying to cut or look at, you have a perfect field of view. Now, they do have different options in regard to the size and then also whether or not you have LED lights or not, and I do think that the LEDs help significantly, because if you use this in a room that perhaps doesn't have good lighting, these work perfectly. Better light means a better cut for the most part. And in regard to the lights, if you do choose to get the lights, they do come with a 10-foot cord, DC cord that you just plug in. And also, it does have 2 brackets right here, so as long as you have a door, you have a place to set up your self-cut system. And it really does make things a whole lot easier. You don't have to try to hold a handheld mirror and cut at the same time, which is normally what I do literally all the time up until I got this. Enough talk about this. Now let's go into the actual cleanup. In this kit that I received, it's called the Retro Kit, and you get 2 clippers, the bigger clipper and more of a precision clipper. Both of these are cordless, but you do have your option of using these with a cord. Cool thing about the bigger set of clippers is they have a lever to adjust for your taper, which is really cool. It's actually clicking, to whereas most of my other clippers, they don't have a clipping head. So very precise, very cool, very technical. Now getting into the more of the precision clippers that I use. Let me take this off. These were actually super easy to use and very precise. And one thing, another thing about these is that other cordless clippers that I've used in the past, you could tell that they lacked power, even at a full charge compared to when it was fully, when it was hooked up to the wall. Does that make sense? So with this, I didn't find a lack of power by any means whatsoever, so that was really good. Now, first thing that we did with this little cleanup is we touched on the cheek lines, and it was really easy. Let me get closer on this. It was really easy to do as far as the line because it has a longer clipper head, which made the precision of the line actually really easy. So we went ahead, we did that on both sides. And now going to the side of the beard, the neck, that was super easy as well, being that it did have that very precise cutting head on the clippers. And so we went through, touched up on the side, as you can actually see in the video that's playing on the side. And then when it came to going to the back of the neck and that neckline, it was such a breeze, and it just made it more fun. Can you say that? It actually made it enjoyable when I was lining up my back neckline. And the funny thing about it, it's actually made me a little OCD. So after I finished up with a cut and finished videoing, that night I actually woke up and went back into the bathroom and opened up the self-cutting system, and I went through and I was just brushing down the hair and making more cuts and just getting super OCD into lining it up. So I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be reoccurring, but I guess the point of that is it just makes it, again, fun. I don't know what other word to kind of use to describe what the effect that the self-cut system has when cutting your hair. I get a ton of questions as far as what I use, and so this right here has just definitely leveled up what I'm going to be able to do with my haircuts and my beard trims. And speaking of haircuts and beard trims, it's kind of a sign that I received this. And what I mean by that, I think there's going to be some drastic changes coming in the near future. So stay tuned for that. So in addition to that, we are building out a van and we're going to be doing a lot of traveling in the near future as well. So super stoked on what's to come. And if you, being that we're talking about this tool and leveling up and whatnot, if you have any tools that you use that would help us out, let us know in the comment section below. But as always, I hope that you found this video helpful, perhaps intriguing. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and maybe even consider subscribing if you aren't already. Until next time, peace! We out.